with any peace process that we've seen, there has to be a huge amount of accountability. There has to be transitional justice in the first instance, and there has to be accountability for war crimes that were conducted during this last 2 years. So I think the EU can help in particular by making sure that evidence is retained for use in later prosecutions that may take place. I think that we have to be clear that the judgments of the International Court of Justice must be respected by the European Union, and those who are complicit in the carrying out of these crimes that have occurred over the last 2 years must be brought to justice. That's going to be a long process. We're at a very early stage. We have a ceasefire that has not been respected, where there is a huge amount of instability. The more recent massacre that took place was again allegedly because some of the deceased hostages were not returned in time. Even if there is good intentions to return deceased remains, it is very, very difficult to do that. And of course, we don't know how many of the logistical difficulties are being experienced in trying to recover these remains. To carry out this massacre at the scale that occurred without any recognition of the difficulties of returning deceased hostages, I think is once again evidence that Israel is not displaying a real commitment to peace, a real vision for a future where relations between Israel and Gaza can improve. So we would really appeal to the Israeli authorities to recognize the complexity that is involved in the delivery of the ceasefire agreement. International law has been outrageously degraded in the last 2 years. I'm afraid the European Union carries a lot of responsibility for that, because while on the one hand we are very clear in condemning Russia for breaches of international law and breaches of international humanitarian law, when it is Israel that is carrying out those same breaches, Europe has been much slower to act. And thankfully, the European Union has begun to change its approach, and it's my view that the fact that the President of the European Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, referred to a man-made famine, referred to the conscience of the world being upset by what Israel is doing, referring to the need for sanctions, together with Chancellor Merz of Germany saying that he would bring an end to the delivery of certain military supplies to Israel. I think this has had a sobering effect on the Israeli government, a recognition that it won't be enough to only have the support of the Trump administration, a recognition that there is a growing global sense of outrage at what's happened to the people of Gaza, and in turn that has happened to international humanitarian law. It has been so severely degraded by this double standards that's been applied to Israel.